Hey guys, it's Millie here, and this is my Behringer Wing session using Ableton. I just created the same video using Pro Tools. Please check that out. In this video, I'll be a little more quicker because it is the exact same format. I'm just doing it with Ableton. Okay, so starting off, let me just give a quick summary of my setup and why I have it this way. I essentially have my DAW tracks. So like, let's say we have a synth track, drums. I am sending that to my Behringer Wing for external processing because the Behringer Wing has some good effects, and I am sending this audio back into my DAW so that I can quickly record it on my computer and I can have the WAV or MP3 file quickly. Now, like I said in the last video, most people just use their mixers as just the remote control DAW. So like you turn up the fader or pan it, but that's not how I want to utilize my Behringer Wing. The Behringer Wing has so many capabilities, and also utilizing your mic inputs in this setup is way different, and let me show you. So to get started, you have to start with routing to get everything connected. Okay, it is your foundation. What you're going to make sure is that on your Behringer Wing, you are going to make the USB audio 48 channels in and 48 channels out, and then in Ableton you're going to make sure that all of the stereo outputs are connected and all of the stereo inputs are selected. I do this because every channel on my Behringer Wing is stereo. So starting off, what we're going to do is we're going to focus on the tracks here. This is where your foundation is, where you make your music. So as you see, I have the basics of a song. So lead instrument, keys, guitar, strings, horns. Now these are other groups with the other instruments in here just to keep it organized. So what we're going to do is all the way from lead instrument to main vocal, because whatever we place in here, like a drum sample or piano chords, we are sending that into the wing to be processed. So starting with lead instrument, we're going to do 3 and 4, keys 5 and 6, 7 and 8 for guitar, strings 9 and 10, horns 11 and 12, 13 and 14 for atmosphere, drums 15 and 16, bass 17, 18, effects 19 and 20, and as you see, I forgot to change it, but background vocals 21, 22, harmonies 23, 24, ad-libs 25, 26, and main vocal 27 and 28. For the whole tracks group here, I just have it to sends only because I don't want it to go anywhere else. So now what we just did is we routed audio from our DAW into our Behringer Wing. Now, in order for our Behringer Wing to receive this audio, we have to route it to certain channels. Now, I'm going to be using my phone here. What we're going to do is, what I did is starting from 13 all the way to 25 here. For the channels, we are going to route the corresponding tracks that are in Ableton. So the way I set it up is from tracks 13 all the way through 25, it is set up corresponding exactly identical to the tracks. So lead instrument starting us off, keys, strings, all the way to main vocal. Now, in order for us to receive the audio from our DAW, after we label it, we're going to go to routing, and we're going to have it as channels and USB audio, because this is the audio that is coming into the wing. So starting off with lead instrument, just as we have it here with the lead instrument being 3 and 4, that is exactly how we're going to route it. So it will look like this blank if you're setting it up like this, and then all you got to do is just tap it, then boom. And then as you see, I tapped the other ones in order. So I already labeled these to make it easy for myself, but you see we have lead instrument, keys, guitar, strings, horns, atmosphere, and they are all coming from the respected USB input. So 3 and 4 lead instrument, keys 5 and 6, guitars 7 and 8, and you get the gist. Okay, and that is the first step. What we just did is our foundation, where we put our music, where we put our tracks to mix it or anything. We just sent that into the Behringer Wing to be processed. So like we can add a reverb now, we can add a compressor or a master chain. The Behringer Wing comes with some nice clean effects. Now what we need to do is send that audio back into our DAW. So what we do is we create basically the same exact group with the names, lead instruments. However, we're going to label it audio in. So you see it is the exact same names, pretty much the exact same format as the tracks. We have lead instrument, keys, guitar, strings, horns, all the way to these are up here now, background vocals through main vocal. Now, what is so important about my setup is that you have to make sure everything is routed correctly. So corresponding to the tracks, it is going to now be in. So now the lead instrument, instead of going out 3 and 4, it is going to be external in 3 and 4. And you see the out, I just have it going to its group. So the bells will be going to the lead instrument and as well as the lead synth. This will all make sense when we test it out, but for right now, let's just keep following along. With the keys, we have it going in 5 and 6, guitar in 7 and 8, horns in 11 and 12, strings, sorry I've missed you, 9 and 10, atmosphere 13 and 14, and all the way to FX going in 19 and 20. Now for the vocals, they are a little unique. I have them coming from the straight from the track. So background vocals is coming from the track. Background vocals is not coming from the external in because I already have the vocal tracks coming from the external in because in my Behringer Wing I route my microphone going into those tracks. Editor Millie here. I am now just saying that I told you guys that from the audio version of the vocal tracks, I set it in from the already made tracks in Ableton earlier. That is only if you are in the process of recording with the vocals already having an effect on it. But if you want to edit it later, then you are going to need to route the audio in version of the vocal tracks. So as I see here, the background vocals are 21 and 22, harmonies 23 and 24, ad-libs 25, 26, and main vocal, you're going to need to route it for 27 and 28 coming in. And just in case you forgot, make sure all of the instrument groups in the audio in go to the folder audio in because I am sending this into the main. You'll see in just a second because my main outputs, my speakers and my headphones, they are not 1 and 2. I keep 1 and 2 as my computer output only. So before we go into the next step, let's just do a little recap. What we did is our foundation where we have our tracks, our music, we put that into a group, lead instrument, keys, guitar, horns, atmosphere, drums, etc. We have these tracks going out into our wing to be processed. And then we hopped onto the Behringer Wing, making channels that represent what is on the DAW because we routed that audio into those channels. And we made sure for all of these tracks, it is not being sent to any of the main synths. It will make sense in just a second. After that, we made a group called audio in as the same number to go in just to keep things clean and organized. Now this next step is how our DAW receives the processed audio from the Behringer Wing. Now in order to do that, I'm going to hop back on the phone. Now this is what makes the Behringer Wing so great. How we set this up is simply by creating a bus. So the exact same way we set up the channels is the exact same way we're going to do the bus. So setting up the buses is easy. You label it just as you would a channel, and then you're going to select the appropriate channel that is coming from. So I'm sorry. So this is coming from channel 13. I know you can't see it right now, but it's coming from channel 13 into lead instrument. Well, if we go back to channel 13, that is exactly lead instrument. Keys will go to the keys bus. You guys get this. Using a bus just makes sense and it makes it easy to add these effects. And for the buses, the main sends, we can send this into our speakers or our headphones or any other main output that you would like to. Now, how does our DAW receive the processed audio from these buses? Well, pretty easy. You're going to go to the routing tab. You're going to go to outputs now. Okay, we were in channels. Now we're going to go to outputs. We're going to go to USB because now we're sending audio out via USB. So starting with the lead instrument, as you see, I keep it the same numbers, 3 and 4 for lead instrument, because remember, lead instrument in my DAW is 3 and 4, so it just makes sense. For the keys, we have it for going out of 5 and 6, guitar 7 and 8, strings 9 and 10, horns 11 and 12, atmosphere 13, 14, 15, 16 for drums, bass 17, 18, effects 19, 20, 21, 22 for background vocals, harmonies 23 and 24, ad-libs 25 and 26. And for my main vocal, 27 and 28, corresponding to exactly how we set it up on audio in. So we just pretty much made it very easy for ourselves to route this up. And there it is. Let me show you now my workflow and to to show you that it actually works and I'm not just doing this for no reason. So we'll just start off with lead instrument. I could insert a VST and play around with some MIDI, but I'm just going to input a sample in here. Okay, now you're going to hear it from OBS and I'm just going to press play. Now, as you see in the audio in, it's not receiving anything. Now that is because I either need to select in or record. I would rather wait until I'm ready to record it. Now when I'm recording through OBS, I don't like to keep it in because then you'll hear double. That's just the way the screen capture works. But for the purpose of this video, let's go ahead and add, let's just say we want to add reverb. Let's say this is actually a synth or a bell here, our lead instrument, and let's say on here we want to add a drastic reverb or even some compressing. I'm just going to add a basic reverb onto the lead instrument bus. Remember, add it to the bus. Now, like I said, for the purpose of this video, I will arm it for recording so that you can see, let's say you have a whole bunch of stems in here or tracks that you just made and you want it to be processed through the wing. Well, we added reverb to our track. Now we are going to record it so that we can export it and easily have the MP3 or WAV file. That's what reverb on is, reverb off. Reverb on. Reverb off. Now let's test it out to see if it works. As we see here, here is the recorded audio that is processed through our wing. And you see, you'll hear in here that I added reverb and I took it out. Right there. And then there you have it. You can go ahead and export it by stems, or you can just go ahead and turn off the tracks here so that you can only export what you have here. I'm going to show you a quick little trick though. I did make an audio track and I named it resampling because it will resample basically what is going into the main. So that is why it was important for all of the audio in to go to the main. So you see here all of the grouped instruments are going into the audio in group, which then the audio in is going to the main. And then I have the resampling here so that I don't just have to export all of this. I can go ahead and basically mix it down here and then mix it down again. But this is so I don't have to click through which stems do I want, which stems do I not want. It will just be a stereo file and then boom. It's not needed, but it is nice. And there you have it. This is my Behringer Wing session. I will leave the templates and the Behringer Wing snapshot down below in the description. Remember, this is my personal workflow, so I can show you guys how to make a song from start to finish using this, utilizing the wing. If you guys really want me to, let me know. Please like and subscribe though, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.